The small town where our farm is located was surrounded by Russian invaders on the first day of war. And since then, there has been absolutely no external supply of anything. No food, no medicine, no fuel, no communication in or out.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu FiBL Focus. Wie der Anfang gerade eben schon vermuten ließ, wird diese Folge aus gegebenem Anlass ausnahmsweise auf Englisch sein. Wir werden demnächst auch eine deutsche Übersetzung zu dieser Folge liefern. Aber bis dahin zunächst einmal, hello and a warm welcome to this special episode of FiBL Focus. For about 20 years, FiBL has been working with the Ukrainian team to establish organic agriculture and organic processing in Ukraine. Even now, under the most difficult conditions, Ukrainian farmers continue their work. In today's interview, Anastasiia Pivniuk from the FiBL Ukraine project team talks to the organic producers Yevhеніi Honcharенko from Molfar and Andrii Nikolaiuk from Ethnoproduct. Thoralf Richter and Tobias Eisenring from the FiBL Switzerland team will add some background information.
My name is Tobias Eisenring. I'm working for FiBL and currently responsible for our project in Ukraine.
My name is Thoralf Richter. I'm working for FiBL. I'm part of the Swiss-Ukrainian project team. All these project activities from FiBL are supported financially by SECO, and this already since 2004. SECO is the Swiss State Secretary for Economic Affairs.
Now we will hear Anastasiia. She is one of our 11 team members based in Ukraine. So we have an office in Kyiv. Anastasiia is one of those who all the time stayed in Ukraine.
This interview is conducted with Mr. Honcharенko. He is the founder and director of the company Molfar. Molfar is an organic operator since 2016 and is located in the western part of Ukraine in the Carpathian area. And this area is quite famous for the natural richness, and therefore it's also dedicated as a wild collection area where products like fruits, berries, mushrooms or herbs are collected, processed and then sold on the domestic and on the Western European market.
So the other person Anastasiia is interviewing is Mr. Andrii Nikolaiuk. He is the general director of the company Ethnoproduct. Ethnoproduct is a dairy farm and processing unit based in the north of Kyiv, in the oblast of Chernihiv. Chernihiv is very close to the Belarusian and the Russian border. Ethnoproduct is one of the FiBL's leader companies. Leader companies are companies who serve as models, as examples for other small and medium enterprises in Ukraine, and serve as an example.
Hello, my name is Anastasiia Pivniuk. I've been working for the FiBL's projects in Ukraine since 2015. And what I like the most about my work is to communicate with the people we work for, who are the Ukrainian organic farmers. And I'm very glad that still, despite the harsh situation here in Ukraine due to the Russian full-scale invasion of our country, we can meet, at least virtually, and have a talk. And I have the honor to talk to Andrii Nikolaiuk, a general director of the Ukrainian-Swiss agricultural company Ethnoproduct, which is the pioneer of organic dairy production in Ukraine. And the company was founded in 2008 by a Ukrainian father of 3 children, Mr. Oleg Zhukovsky, who wanted to provide good organic food to his kids and the people of Ukraine. So he decided to establish his own organic dairy farm, and he found Swiss partners who helped him to achieve his goal, and also experts from FiBL who shared the best practices and provided consultancy when it was needed. And Andrii has been working for Ethnoproduct since the very beginning of the company's organic journey and is the main person who knows most and contributed much to the development of Ethnoproduct. And Andrii, thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to you today. And how are you doing? How is your family?
Hello, Anastasia. Thank you for this introduction. It's also a pleasure for me to speak to you, to other people in this special period of our history of our company, of Ukraine. Of course, I will be glad to answer your questions.
Now I will talk to Yevhеніi Honcharенko, the founder and director of a company named Molfar, which produces fine organic rose-bay willow herb tea. And the company has gained international recognition for the organoleptic qualities of its herbal tea and got a bronze at the International Tea of the World competition founded by the Agricultural Product Evaluation Agency in France. I have known Yevhеніi personally since we first met at the National Pavilion of Ukraine at the BioFach 2018, where he presented his tea as best as he could by just offering to drink a cup of his tea. And it was more than enough to fall in love with its taste, which really suits its slogan, the tea of a pure soul. Hi, Yevhеніi, it's really good to see you via Zoom, and I'm very impressed by your military outfit. How are you doing at the moment?
Well, fine, thank you. My daily work to be in Marine in Odessa. I'm in the army now. Actually, my office workers stay at home waiting for a job. Pandemic helped us to work on distance. And I hope we will back to something like civil life. And our routine work like a tea company.
Can you tell us about the location of your company? Where is it located? In what part of Ukraine?
Our office located in Kyiv, but all manufacturing located in Carpathian region. It's true ecological region. And now our factory are staying and waiting for a new season.
Our agriculture division is located in Chernihiv region in the town of Gorodnya, and our processing division is 200 kilometers away in Kyiv. Our farm is located in one of the most dangerous parts of Ukraine in the northeast borders by two aggressors, Belarus and Russia.
Just to add here that we really are facing different situations in the region in Ukraine, while we have in the western part and in the middle of Ukraine production possibilities still similar to the past. We have in the south and the east a completely different picture where farmers are not able to enter the fields, have no access to fuel, especially in the already occupied areas by Russia. We really have to expect that the majority of the fields, of the organic fields, cannot be cultivated this year. And we also see and heard from colleagues that especially the logistic chains from the south, where the organic products were shifted via vessels to Western European markets. These logistic chains are completely broken, and therefore a majority of organic products cannot be exported on the logistics schemes which have been used in the past, and this will be one of the biggest challenge for selling and delivering products this year from Ukraine to the rest of Europe.
Yevhеніi Honcharенko, is this region affected somehow by the war?
Yes, we got some effects. The first, a lot of refugees the first day came to our region, and we organized a humanitarian mission. We receive humanitarian help to our logistics center and send it to different regions and receive refugees and located in our school and children gardens.
What Mr. Honcharенko mentioned, that he is also using his own premises for humanitarian aid is quite typical for a situation in this moment of many other organic operators, that they use the infrastructure of their farms to organize local support of food distribution to the local people, or also to support the local voluntary territory army with medicine or other products which are requested in this moment. So they use this period like Mr. Honcharенko, where they have not a high season and not full storages, to store or intermediate store other products which are in this moment really in need for people in Ukraine.
And how has the war changed the daily work of your company?
It has changed significantly. The small town where our farm is located was surrounded by Russian invaders on the first day of war. And since then, there has been absolutely no external supply of anything. No food, no medicine, no fuel, no communication in or out. You can imagine how difficult it has been to survive in these circumstances. Most of the milk we got during this period we gave to inhabitants of our town free of charge. Some people told us we saved them from severe starvation. Our Kyiv processing plant has not worked for two reasons. First, there was impossible to get organic milk from our farm to the plant. And secondly, our plant was located near the front line and our people were afraid to go to work.
All what are we trying to do is to find export partners, because we have full of domestic market, of course, and now we are trying to give a job to our workers, and we need to sell somewhere our products, our tea, mushrooms. So we are looking for partners in Europe, maybe in Canada.
So for many producers who have focused on the domestic market over the last years, they really have no problem that these domestic supply chains are broken in many regions of the country, and farmers have to think what to do with the products. So either to start to do export activities, or other possibilities also to sell these products or to share these products for free with the people in the local regions.
And can you please share your experience during wartime? Did you have to change your practice on farm and processing unit, and how do you engage in the current situation?
There are two different experiences personally for me. First is my experience after 5 weeks in Kyiv with the front line very close and sound of bombs exploding regularly. You need to do something other than spend the whole day looking at your smartphone and reading updates to news feed, because you need to focus on doing something normal. And my second type of experience, maybe the most interesting for our audience, is as person responsible for our farm operations, I must be ready to die at any moment. I understand that it's difficult to accept, but it's the only way you can work when you are staring down the barrel of tank or a gun. I will explain maybe in details. 70% of our staff decided not to go to work on the farm on the first day of war because they were scared. But our cows don't understand this fear, and they need to be fed and watered every day, otherwise they die. But those who came to work showed great courage. In fact, our farm manager was trying to find fuel in the town to run the farm, and he was held up and forced to the ground at gunpoint by the Russian invaders. But luckily, the Russians decided to let him live, and he's still working to this day. Now this area is deoccupied, and we are trying to start over. Nevertheless, there are still a lot of occupied areas in Ukraine, and so some of our male staff left to serve in the army, and some of our female staff have left Ukraine. We have not fully relaunched our activities yet, so I hope we will be able to temporarily replace them if necessary. To be honest, I don't know what the future holds.
Andrii, I would like us to recall our pre-war time. Can you tell us about the activities of your company before war started? What were your concerns at that time?
Compared to current situation, I should tell that there were no concerns at all. But generally, I will give you overview. We have been operating in the organic market of Ukraine around 14 years. We cultivate around 1,000 hectares of organic land in Chernihiv region. Milk of our farm is supplied to our milk processing plant in Kyiv, where we produce 13 organic milk products from pasteurized milk to butter. We had been actively exporting grain for the past 5 years, but currently we are focused exclusively on the local market.
Yevhеніi Honcharенko, You told us that you are selling your products through the main supermarket chains in Ukraine. And how is the situation right now with the supermarkets? Do they sell your products, or how do you deal with selling your products right now?
We have a big debt from Silpo, really. All last month it was no moving in this, no actions, nothing, because tea is not product of first needs. Just maybe really this time we are beginning to rise up.
So Mr. Honcharенko mentioned Silpo. Silpo is one of the biggest supermarket chains in Ukraine. And the experience of Mr. Honcharенko with the supermarket chain is that he didn't receive any money for the product delivery for many months. And this is unfortunately also quite typical for other processors, other producers, that they still waiting for the money, and also the supermarkets have financial problems in this moment. So this is really a circle of financial crisis also, which are affecting the most of the organic operators in Ukraine, and therefore they have also difficulties to pre-finance organic inputs in this moment for the new production season.
And Andrii, right now, how do you manage to continue providing your products to people?
Due to heavy damage to bridges and roads around our farm in Chernihiv region, we currently still can't get milk from our farm. But I expect we will be able to bring milk to the plant roughly in a couple of weeks. We will see how it goes and what we can do. Frankly, I don't know. We'll see.
And are you able to still pay salaries to your staff?
This is one of the most difficult issues for me to resolve. It has been almost 2 months since we brought anything to market, and we don't even know when we will start again. But we have a team of great people who have families and they need to live and get paid somehow. Farm staff gets salaries from the sale of raw milk locally, but our Kyiv division does not have work or income at all right now. This is further complicated by the planting season and our need to reinvest available funds to buy seeds and sow some feed for our cows. So this is our current situation.
So speaking about the inputs needed for the current production campaign, do you have access to all inputs you need?
No. One of our suppliers is located in Kharkiv. There, maybe you know situation in Kharkiv, or you have heard about what's happening there. And production capacity of this supplier were fully destroyed. And so currently we are looking for new suppliers of this particular material. Other suppliers are working, but not stable. I really hope they will stabilize and we will be able to return to work as usual. But of course, nothing will ever be the same.
Mr. Nikolaiuk mentioned organic input producer who is located in Kharkiv. Kharkiv is in the east of Ukraine and currently in a very complicated situation in a war zone. And the destruction of this company will also have an impact on the entire organic sector, because this supplier of organic inputs was one of the biggest in Ukraine.
So when we speak about inputs, then we mean seeds, we mean fertilizer, and we need agents to support or to regulate pests and diseases in organic agriculture. And it also illustrates that not only the supply chain from the producer to the consumer is interrupted in this moment, but also the supply chain from input producers to the farmers is seriously interrupted, and therefore we are not sure how the farmers will manage this solution. So we also have to understand that in Ukraine we have less animal production in the organic agriculture sector, and therefore farmers are really dependent also from organic fertilizers. And therefore they have to find solutions now how to save or how to secure the yields which they actually need to be profitable in the market.
According to the website organicinfo.org.ua, 30% of the operators claim to have suspended their businesses since February 24th.
And Andrii, how do you plan to continue working on organic after the war will be finished?
Yes, if nothing tragic happens with us, we will produce organics again. We won't switch over to conventional production.
That's good to hear. And what do you think? How global organic community can support Ukrainian organic farmers and personally you and your company?
Neither we nor the organic sector of Ukraine would object to any kind of support, for sure.
Well, maybe if some partners will connect us to distribution in country which we can export, because Saudi Arabia we cannot export because sea is closed. So it would be a good support, really.
And in this moment, we are planning for the spring period an online event where we want to bring importers together with exporters, because we receive a lot of requests from importers who are not certain what is possible to import for this year, and therefore we from FiBL would like to build the bridge between importers and exporters, to make this offers from this season and what is in stock still more transparent for the importers, so that importers can decide what this year I still can order from Ukraine, and with my order also supports the organic sector in Ukraine.
Also, you can support the organic sector in Ukraine. According to a survey which has been conducted by the sector actors, almost 70% of the producers in Ukraine need financial support. The sector actors together decided to set in place a website to collect together as a sector money and then jointly decide on how to spend this money. More information you can find on the show notes of this podcast.
As I told you, we have a lot of refugees in our region, near our factory, and to give all that people a job, it was good help for us. And for other people who are working in all general, we still are proud and honest people and fighting for our country as it's possible.
I don't want to be pathetic, but perhaps it's very simple, but nevertheless, it holds true. You should value every moment in your life and live to the fullest, because tomorrow might not come.